8 New Zealand cities flooded with Americans. In 2023, something extraordinary happened. American passport applications hit a record high, and guess where most of them landed? 8 cities in New Zealand experienced such a massive influx of American residents that locals are calling it the American invasion. The numbers will shock you, and what's driving this mass exodus might surprise you even more. What started as a trickle during the pandemic has turned into a flood. From tech executives in Silicon Valley to retirees from Florida, Americans are abandoning the land of the free for the land of the long white cloud. But which cities are they choosing? And more importantly, why these specific places? Today, we're counting down 8 New Zealand cities that have become American hotspots. The data comes from Immigration New Zealand's latest reports, and some of these cities will absolutely blow your mind. But before we dive in, I need to ask you something. Have you ever considered leaving your home country permanently? Drop a comment below because what you're about to discover might change everything. Let's start with number 8, Tauranga. This coastal city in the Bay of Plenty saw a 180% increase in American residents over the past 3 years. But here's what's fascinating. It's not just the beaches attracting them. Sarah Mitchell from Portland sold her tech startup and moved to Tauranga with her family. She told me something that stopped me in my tracks. My property taxes dropped from $18,000 annually to $3,200. Same house size, better schools, safer neighborhoods. The average American family in Tauranga saves $47,000 per year compared to similar coastal cities in California. But there's a catch that many don't realize until they arrive. Can you guess what it is? Keep watching, because city number 4 reveals the hidden costs no one talks about. Number 7 will surprise you. Napier. This Art Deco paradise attracted 340 American families in 2023 alone. That's more than triple the previous year. Meet James Rodriguez, a former New York firefighter who now runs a wine tour business in Napier. His story reveals something crucial about this American migration. I was making $85,000 in NYC and could barely afford a 1-bedroom apartment. Here, I bought a 4-bedroom house with vineyard views for the same price as a parking space in Manhattan. But James discovered something that changed his perspective entirely. The cultural shift isn't what most Americans expect. New Zealanders have a concept called tall poppy syndrome, and it's causing some Americans serious adjustment issues. Are you starting to see the pattern? These aren't just lifestyle moves. There's something deeper happening here. Number 6, Palmerston North. Now this one shocked even me. This university town has become a magnet for American academics and young professionals. In 2023, American enrollment at Massey University increased by 280%. Kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Dr. Michelle Chang left her tenure position at UC Berkeley for Palmerston North. Her reason? I can focus on research instead of fundraising. Plus, my kids can walk to school without me fearing for their safety. But here's where it gets interesting. The cost of living data shows something that contradicts everything you think you know about international moves. Americans in Palmerston North spend 34% less than they did in equivalent U.S. cities, but their quality of life scores are 67% higher. What's driving these dramatic improvements? The answer connects to our number 2 city, and it's not what you think. Number 5, Rotorua. The geothermal wonderland has seen American investment and relocation surge by 220% since 2022. Here's what's fascinating. It's not retirees leading this charge. The average American moving to Rotorua is 34 years old, working in tech or digital marketing. They're leveraging remote work policies to earn U.S. salaries while living in New Zealand. Mark Thompson from Austin, Texas breaks it down. I kept my $120,000 remote job, but my living expenses dropped to $32,000 annually. I'm essentially saving $60,000 per year while living in paradise. But there's a darker side to this trend that's causing tension. Local housing prices have increased 43% in neighborhoods popular with Americans. Some locals feel they're being priced out of their own cities. This tension becomes explosive in our top 3 cities. Are you ready for what's coming? Number 4, Hamilton. This might be the most strategic choice Americans are making. Hamilton has become the unofficial headquarters for American expats in New Zealand, with a 295% increase in American residents. Here's why. Hamilton is exactly 90 minutes from Auckland, 2 hours from Tauranga's beaches, and 3 hours from ski fields. Americans are using it as a base to explore all of New Zealand while maintaining lower living costs. But remember that hidden cost I mentioned earlier? Here it is. Isolation tax. Americans in Hamilton report spending 40% more on international travel to visit family back home. The emotional cost of being 8,000 miles from loved ones is driving some back to the US within 2 years. Lisa Park from Chicago put it perfectly. I saved money on everything except staying connected to home. The mental health cost of isolation wasn't in my budget calculations. This psychological factor becomes crucial in our top 3 cities. The question is, which locations help Americans combat this isolation? Number 3, Christchurch. Here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Post-earthquake Christchurch has rebuilt itself with significant American investment and expertise. American residents increased by 10% since 2020. What's remarkable is why Americans choose Christchurch. It's not just opportunity, it's purpose. Many Americans moved here specifically to help with the rebuild effort and stayed for the community they found. If you're enjoying this, kindly please subscribe, like, and comment. David Kim, a former Seattle architect, shared something profound. I came to help design earthquake-resistant buildings. I stayed because I found a community that values contribution over competition. Americans here aren't just immigrants, we're rebuilding partners. Christchurch Americans report the highest integration satisfaction scores of any expat community in New Zealand. But there's a reason this city ranks only number 3 despite these advantages. The weather. Christchurch winters are brutal for Americans used to mild climates. 23% of American residents relocate to warmer New Zealand cities within their first 3 years. But our top 2 cities solve this problem completely. Can you guess which cities offer Americans everything they're seeking? Number 2, Wellington. The capital city has seen American residents increase by 485% since 2021. But here's what makes Wellington extraordinary. It's where American professionals are rebuilding their careers, not just their lives. Wellington's tech scene, film industry, and government consulting opportunities offer Americans career advancement they couldn't achieve in saturated U.S. markets. Plus, the city's compact size and walkability appeal to Americans tired of car-dependent lifestyles. Jennifer Walsh left her consulting job in Washington, D.C. for a senior policy role in Wellington. I went from being one of hundreds of consultants to being one of 5 Americans with my expertise. The professional opportunities are incredible. But Wellington's success reveals something darker about the American migration. These aren't just lifestyle choices, they're escape strategies. Americans are fleeing political polarization, gun violence, healthcare costs, and social unrest. Wellington offers political stability that 73% of surveyed American residents say was their primary motivation for leaving the U.S. This isn't just about better weather or lower costs. This is about fundamental safety and security. Which brings us to number 1. The city that's become the ultimate American sanctuary. Number 1, Auckland. The numbers are staggering. American residents in Auckland increased by 520% between 2021 and 2024. That's over 15,000 Americans who now call Auckland home. But Auckland isn't just the largest recipient, it's become the American gateway to New Zealand. Here's why. Auckland offers Americans everything they're fleeing from the US, but in reverse. Diverse international community? Check. World-class healthcare? Check. Top-tier schools? Check. Political stability? Check. Gun violence rates near 0? Check. Robert Chen moved from Los Angeles with his family in 2022. His perspective summarizes this entire migration. In LA, I spent $8,000 monthly just to feel safe. Private school, gated community, health insurance premiums. In Auckland, I spend $4,200 monthly for a better lifestyle, better schools, and complete safety. My kids ride public transport alone. That's impossible in most American cities now. But here's the reality check. Auckland's success is creating its own problems. Housing shortages, infrastructure strain, and growing resentment from locals who feel Americans are driving up costs and changing their city's character. The New Zealand government is now considering residency caps and investment minimums specifically targeting American migration to Auckland. So there you have it, 8 New Zealand cities where Americans are rewriting their futures. From Tauranga's coastal affordability to Auckland's urban sanctuary, these cities represent more than destination choices. They represent American disillusionment with the American dream itself. The question isn't whether this migration will continue, it's whether New Zealand can handle it. And whether Americans can truly find what they're searching for 8,000 miles from home. What do you think? Are these Americans making smart moves or running from problems they should solve at home? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this eye-opening, wait until you see my next video about the Americans who moved to New Zealand and came back. Their stories will shock you. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.